Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If Transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 131, Back to the New World. I haven't told anyone about my goal before, so please keep it a secret for me. Blaze winked a little, easing the mood between them. Okay. You don't despise me for the slave mark? Hancock asked again, a little doubtful. I have already said it, some slave mark doesn't define the person. If you are so disturbed by it, I can erase it for you. Blaze expressed his thoughts. What? You can? I thought the slave marks were permanent, which can't be removed. They are. But I can erase or modify them into a better symbol if you want, Blaze said with confidence. The slave marks are similar to tattoos of Earth, imprinted by special ink into the outer layer of the skin. As the concepts are the same, he can easily remove them by disintegrating the ink and restoring the skin. I want it erased, Hancock replied in a quivering voice. Okay then. May I? Walking towards the bed, Blaze gestured to her to show the back. Hancock blushed a little, but she still turned and exposed the back. Pointing his index finger at the hoof mark, Blaze fired a solar beam that started to slowly erase the mark little by little. He then placed his palm on her back. As soon as he did that, Hancock trembled as if she was struck by a lightning. She suddenly asked, "What are you doing?" Relax. Hancock then felt a warm flow of energy on her back and a slight itchy feeling that made her body squirm. In 2 or 3 minutes, the burnt marks on her skin disappeared a little. But this is not the end. Blaze had to repeat the whole process 3 more times before the hoof mark on her back completely vanished. Her creamy white back looked as good as new. Done. Really? Hancock found it a little unbelievable, so she checked her back in the mirror. To her surprise, she found nothing on her back, not even a scar. It really disappeared? Tears gushed from her eyes of happiness. How many years has it been? She's been bothered by the mark ever since it's branded on her back and how others would treat her if it's seen. Can you sign the Warlord agreement now? Blaze asked. Once you sign it, neither the Marines nor world government would come near 3 kilometers of Amazon Lily. This time Hancock didn't refuse, she directly signed the agreement paper presented by Blaze. Well, I think it's time for me to take my leave. See you then. Blaze kept the paper in his coat and prepared to leave, but Hancock stopped him. Wait, can you erase my sister's mark as well, please? Hancock pleaded with cute eyes. Blaze's eyes softened looking at her expression. He agreed. Sure. Hancock then called Marigold and Sandersonia to her room. When her sisters reached her room, they were surprised to see Blaze and Hancock in revealing clothing. Elder sis, you. Before they could finish their sentence, Hancock exposed her clear back that's devoid of celestial dragon's hoof mark. How? They looked at Hancock with incredulous eyes. They didn't understand what's happening and how their sister's mark disappeared. Elder sis. He helped me in erasing the mark, I asked him to remove yours too. Hancock spoke in a joyful tone, showing a smiling face. Blaze then helped Hancock's sisters by erasing the hoof mark on their back as well. Especially Sandersonia, who dropped to the floor bursting into tears and repeatedly thanked him. Unbelievable, you can really erase the slave mark that's said to be indelible. Elder Nyan, who once again magically appeared in the room, exclaimed. You are no ordinary person. It's the Boa sisters' blessing to have met you. Blaze simply smiled and spoke to Hancock. Pirate Empress, I think it's time you turn the soldiers back to normal. You can call me Hancock. Okay. Blaze then came to the port area along with Hancock, her sisters, and Elder Nyan. Hancock boarded the Marine and used the ability to return the soldiers to normal. After chatting with them for a few more minutes, Blaze returned to his ship and left Amazon Lily while Hancock gazed in the direction he left with a complex expression. As his ship set sail, Blaze called Sengoku. "Sengoku-san, it's done." "Good. I knew it, sending you was the right choice. I am in the middle of something, we will talk later. You can return to the new world." Sengoku's voice came from the other side of the Den Mushi. Ending the call, Blaze came out of his cabin and looked at the disappearing view of Amazon Lily. Don't know why, but Hancock's beautiful face flashed before his eyes. Without his knowing, his heart thumped faster than usual. Is it because of her devil fruit, or am I beginning to like her? Blaze couldn't come to a conclusion. What he doesn't know is, the same thing is happening to Hancock, who still stood on the shore of the island staring in the direction the marine ships disappeared. She touched her slightly excited heart, which is beating faster than usual, while her face had a tinge of redness around them. New world. Blaze enjoyed the sunrise by relaxing on the deck of the ship. He always enjoyed the feeling of bathing in the morning sunlight, as it bring forth a pleasant feeling and strengthen his constitution. After basking in the sun for an hour, Blaze then checked his status. Name, Blaze Hunt. Occupation, Marine. Constitution, 65.4. Devil Fruit, 62.7. Hockey, 61.3. Free Attribute Point, 3.1. His attribute point rose by 0.1 after destroying the pirate crew yesterday. He doesn't know how his current strength is, compared to the Yonkos. With his current strength, he can fight Crystal, but the same couldn't be said about the other emperors, as he knew they are on a different level. Blaze desires to face the emperor, but till now, his unit hasn't been allowed anywhere near the four emperors' territory. They are basically responsible for the protection of the world government-affiliated kingdoms. Rarely, they will meet some pirate crews on the sea. It's been 10 days since Blaze and his unit returned to the New World. Nothing much happened in this short time aside from eradicating the pirate crew that tried to plunder the nearby kingdom. But today, an urgent report came from the headquarters. A new devil fruit is discovered on some unknown island, but it caused friction between the Whitebeard pirates and Beast pirates. Hearing the report, Blaze straightened his back while an excited expression surfaced on his face. Finally, some good news. Chapter 132, Contact. New World. On an unknown island, a fierce battle was ongoing between two all-stars of Beast pirates and commanders of Whitebeard pirates. On one side, King the Conflagration was seen fighting the 3rd Division Commander Diamond Jozu. On the other hand, Jack the Drought fought the 5th Division Commander Flower Sword Vista. A little away from them, the subordinates of both factions could be seen battling. Blaze and his unit reached the island just a few minutes back. They docked the ship away from the eyes of the pirates and observed the battle from distance. He has been strictly told by Sengoku to not engage them, as it will very well escalate the situation. With the marine strength, they can't afford to anger two emperors of the sea at the same time. Blaze stood on the deck of the ship watching the battle while his eyes listened to Regis's report. Blaze-san, I got a word from headquarters that KDO made contact with Whitebeard. Right now, they are fighting. Headquarters has sent Admiral Akainu and Admiral Kizaru to oversee the situation and make sure nothing happens. Hearing it, Blaze smirked, as he can perceive the situation clearly. Kaido's battling Whitebeard to stop the latter from going anywhere so that his underlings can successfully seize the devil fruit. Unlike Beast pirates, who are strong and fight every battle by themselves, the Whitebeard pirates depend on the strength and reputation of their father, Whitebeard. And as he expected, Jozu and Vista showed signs of exhaustion after 3 or so hours and couldn't stop King and Jack from leaving with the devil fruit. Blaze's task this time is to find the devil fruit and monitor whichever the pirate crew has it. They have to prevent the devil fruit from falling into the hands of an emperor, as it will only increase their strength. If it's some ordinary devil fruit, it doesn't matter, but what if it's some rare kind? Since both the emperors are showing interest in them, it has to be a rare one. Blaze ordered the soldiers on board to follow the Beast pirate ship, since they are the ones who have the devil fruit. A huge pirate ship with Beast pirates Jolly Roger left the island and sailed towards north. The ship was at least 4 times larger than the marine battleship. Moreover, the ship was armed with high-quality, long-ranged cannons capable of hitting enemy ships from afar, most possibly manufactured in Wayno's factories. On board. Big Bro King, what is this devil fruit that even Kaido-san shows interest in? Jack asked. Jack looked the same as shown in the original series. There's no difference in his appearance aside from the fact he's slightly younger now. He is massive in stature, standing close to 27 feet in height, which is even taller than his Governor-General Kaido. On the other side stood King, who's slightly shorter, around 20 feet in height, and is better proportioned, well-muscled, and had broad shoulders. What set him aside from others is his dark uniform that exposes no skin and a plume of fire that burns in his back, thanks to the Lunarian race bloodline. Jack, are you really training well? Look at the sword wounds on your chest, you should be ashamed. Even after eating the ancient Zoan, you are still getting injured. I am sorry, Big Bro. King then opened a wooden box that they just acquired from the Whitebeard pirates, revealing a devil fruit that had a weird shape. From its appearance, it should be Zoan type. Inform Kaido-san that we have the fruit, King ordered his underling and closed the box. At that moment, a beast pirate ran forward and notified. King-san, Jack-sama, a marine has been following us since we left the island. They are keeping the distance from the very start. Is there an admiral on board? Jack asked. Even though they are not afraid of marine admirals, it would be troublesome to fight them on the sea. No. It's just a normal marine battleship. I think they are sent to monitor our movements. Jack, sink them. How dare they stalk us? King grunted in displeasure. Yes, Jack then ordered the underlings to prepare the cannon and aim the marine ship. As soon as they are ready, Jack commanded. Fire! At the same time, Blaze called Sengoku and informed him that the beast pirates have the devil fruit. Wait, don't do anything stupid like last time. I am sending Kuzan over. Most of our troops are sent to the Whitebeard territories to keep an eye on the battle between Kaido and Whitebeard. Sengoku spoke, rubbing his temples. Well, I don't think I can wait, Sengoku-san. The beast pirates have started firing at us. Do you still want me to stay put? Blaze casually asked as beast pirates' ship fired their cannons. As the other party's cannons are long-ranged and highly accurate, they perfectly came at the target. On his side, Regis and Rosinante prevented the cannons from hitting the ship. Ah! Sengoku, who sat in his office, rubbed his temples and said, just don't do anything stupid, okay? Sengoku knew how strong Blaze is. It's also the reason why he's worried that the latter would do something reckless again. If it's in normal time he won't bother, but right now Marines are dealing with a lot of things. If his actions provoke Kaido, there's a 90% chance that Madman would attack Marineford as he did last time. It would affect the lives of a lot of soldiers. I will try my best. Saying these words, Blaze ended the conversation and ordered the soldiers on board to get ready to fight. What are you all doing dilly-dallying? Prepare the cannons, increase the knots and steer the ship to the left and start firing. Blaze then came to the front deck of the ship and saw Jack on the opposite side commanding his underlings while King just watched everything like a bystander. You guys, move back, he said to Regis and Rosinante. He then breathed, inhaling air while his lungs expanded. Seconds passed as Blaze took his time to gather a huge amount of solar energy in his mouth before releasing them as golden flames of destruction. Breath of sun. A huge sea of flames blasted forth, scorching everything in its path, while the sea directly below the flames instantly evaporated. Unlike Kadia's Bioelo breath that's concentrated on a straight line, Blaze's attack expanded, covering a wide area. The sudden attack caught both King and Queen off guard, while King's expression changed, feeling the intensity of the flames. Chapter 133, King and Jack. The sudden attack of Blaze caught both King and Jack off guard as their expressions suddenly changed, feeling the intensity of the flames. If they let the flames hit them, it would definitely torch their ship and blow them to bits. Without wasting time, King transformed into his Pteranodon form and shouted, Jack! Yes, Big Bro Jack transformed into full mammoth form. He then sucked the water from the sea using his trunk and sprayed them at the incoming raging flames with explosive force. Though it couldn't stop Blaze's attack,
they reduced the intensity of the flames as there was no hockey imbued in it.
At the same time, King leaped from the ship, flew towards the flames, and flapping his wings vigorously creating a strong wind current that divided the flames into two.
Thanks to that, Blaze's flame breath avoided burning the ship.
King, who was now in his pteranodon form, clad in flames, shot at the marine ship at extreme speed. There was a sonic boom as he streaked forward.
Seeing King's figure approaching their ship, Regis commanded the soldiers on board. Fire!
The marine soldiers who were waiting for the order took aim and fired the bullets and cannons, but nothing hit him as King evaded everything with ease. Blaze knew this kind of attack won't hurt the latter, so he smirked and jumped from the deck, faced King's dive head-on. He knew, in the pteranodon form, King's beak is long and sturdy, and an effective pointed weapon capable of tearing anything in its way. The combination of great speed, strength, and size bestowed by the pteranodon transformation gave him the power to force-destroy things.
If he let King headfirst into the ship, it would break into two. Come!
Blaze channeled a huge amount of hockey, pushed all his physical strength to his arms, and punched forward.
Boom!
His punch clashed against the pointed beak of King's, creating lightning ripples and shockwaves that swept past in all directions. But that's not the end. As soon Blaze's punch made contact, it triggered a terrifying explosion.
Golden flames burst forward and swallowed King completely.
In the next moment, King's figure shot back like a cannonball and crashed into the beast pirate's ship while his entire body emitted steam.
Blood trickled from his pointy beaks.
Big Bro Jack came to his side, transformed into his human form, but was shoved aside by King, who stood up and faced Blaze, who already landed on their ship.
King's body also slowly transformed back to his human form.
Looking at his condition, Blaze was surprised that King was only slightly injured even though he was in the eye of the explosion. His reaction is fast. He was able to clad his entire body right before the explosion went off. Besides, his Lunarian bloodline isn't for a show, as he's somewhat immune to heat.
Blaze mused.
There was silence and the atmosphere was extremely tense as all the beast pirates on board pointed their weapons at Blaze, ready to attack at moment's notice. At the same moment, Blaze's marine ship collided with the beast pirate's ship while the soldiers on board aimed their rifles at the beast pirates.
Regis and Rosinante stood at the front while Kawina stood behind them.
"I suppose you are Rear Admiral Blaze, the one who's said to have defeated Speed."
"Now I know the rumors are true." King spoke.
"The beast pirates once clashed with the Speed pirates. Without a doubt, they are a formidable crew. Especially Speed, he was able to escape even after facing their captain Katia." "Yes," Blaze replied while an overbearing hockey broke out of him. The air around twisted and rippled while an invisible shock wave exploded forth. Thud, thud, thud. The next moment, most of the beast pirates fell to the ground with their eyes rolled back and foams coming out their mouths. He doesn't want to have any distractions, and leaving them may endanger the lives of his subordinates. The beast pirates are knowledgeable and knew what this means. The ones who are able to remain conscious gulped while their hands trembled in slight fear as they knew the man before them is strong. "King the Conflagration and Jack the Drought, surrender yourself and hand me the devil fruit."
"I will let you live." Blaze let out some arrogant words for fun.
Of course, he knew they won't surrender.
"Why don't you come and get it?"
Jack exuded killing intent as he unsheathed the side-like blades from the tusks on his shoulders. "As you wish," Blaze uttered and exploded with terrifying strength while golden lightning flickered around his body, multiplying his speed to the utmost limit. On the other hand, Jack roared loudly as his arms and weapons were shrouded in armament hockey as if clad in dark armor. At the same time, King conjured a flame in his right hand. Blaze's target is Jack. His figure blurred and reappeared before Jack, stunning the latter as he couldn't even react.
Though Jack is strong, he's slow in the movements. Moreover, Jack of now isn't as strong as shown in the original timeline, as he's just 19 years old right now.
A fist bubbled with golden energy smashed Jack squarely in the face. The flame-clad punch didn't make contact with the skin, but the force behind the attack directly bypassed his defense and shredded his innards. In that fraction of the fraction, Blaze dealt another blow by slightly turning his body to the left. His left elbow struck the center of Jack's chest, blasting him away. In both the blows,
Blaze used everything in his arsenal. His attack carried strength, speed, advanced hockey concept, and devil fruit power. He held nothing back. Jack's body smashed into the railings of the ship and slid to the floor, completely unconscious. His face was completely deformed while blood oozed from his mouth, ears, and nose while a scorching dent could be seen in his chest. Just 2 full-power attacks, it's all it took to force Jack to the brink of his death. Chapter 134, Clash of Two Emperors of the Sea. Just as he took down Jack, Blaze's eyes turned red as he sensed an enormous figure behind his back. It's none other than King. Imperial Flame. King conjured a fireball over his open palm and formed a fist to execute a powerful, flame-clad punch. Blaze didn't have time to evade, so he can only coat the point of contact, his left cheek, with hockey. Bang! It's a powerful blow wrapped in flames. As it hit Blaze, his body was forced to skid for some distance before stopping. Good punch, Blaze spit the blood in his mouth and praised, but you picked the wrong opponent to play fire with. The next moment, a terrifying heat swept the surroundings and soon they transformed into golden flames. In no time, the entire Beast Pirate ship was engulfed in a sea of flames. Hot, hot, hot! The Beast Pirates who are conscious jumped into the sea carrying the unconscious one. Only a few with a strong body and hockey remained in the ship to watch the battle. As the sea below them bubbled in high temperatures and showed signs of evaporation, the pirates who jumped onto the water quickly swam away from the ship. The astonishing thing, the Beast Pirate's ship remained intact even after Blaze displayed his devil fruit power. It should have been made from a unique tree or treasure wood atom. King's eyes narrowed as he glared at Blaze, but he showed no signs of burn by the heat. As Blaze thought, the latter is immune to heat to a certain extent. But Blaze's earlier explosion damaged King, so he's not completely invulnerable to flames. Let's test his limit. Without wasting any time, Blaze charged forward and punched, letting the hockey flew through his arms. King did the same. Bang! Both their fists collided in mid-air, generating sparks of purplish lightning and shockwave to diverge in all directions. Their strike didn't touch but struggled in mid-air to win over the other. It seems like the Beast Pirates didn't waste time on Wayno. You even grasped the concept of Raya, Blaze uttered, genuinely surprised by the fact that King can use internal destruction. Blaze could sense King is strong. His hockey has possibly reached the initial stage of Admiral level. Combined with his devil fruit and natural-born strength, he's a monster worthy of his 1.2 billion bounty. Finally, Blaze increased the hockey flowing through his arms and pushed King back. He may be strong, but against Blaze, he stands no chance. I am going to have fun thrashing you. Saying this, Blaze crackled his knuckles while King squinted his eyes as his face turned cold. On the marine ship, Regis, Rosinante, Kuina, and other marine soldiers watched the battle with interest. Kuina exclaimed, "Blaze-san is going all out. It seems like that King is quite strong." "It doesn't matter how strong he is, he won't be able to win," Rosinante said. "True. Let's capture the Beast Pirates who jumped into the water. We can't just wait for their battle to end before doing anything." Regis spoke and ordered the soldiers to apprehend the pirates who were fleeing in the sea. At the same time as Blaze battled King, 2 Yonkos, Kaido and Whitebeard clashed on an unknown island situated in Whitebeard territory, New World. Raime hack, Thunger Bagua. Kaido swung his Kanabo, Hasekai, horizontally with both hands that carried devastating force as he imbued them with Conqueror and Armament Haki. On the other hand, Whitebeard roared atop his lungs in anger and wrapped his Naginata with a quake bubble to greatly increase its striking power and waved. Boom! The sky itself split, indicative of a clash between 2 Conqueror's Haki users. The clouds rumbled and turned dark as if the heavens themselves had acknowledged their presence. "Kaido, you dare come here and send your forces to steal the devil fruit in my territory? Do you think I won't kill you?" Whitebeard's furious voice thundered aloud. Thrusting the Naginata with his right hand, Whitebeard focused vibrations around his left fist to form a spherical bubble and punched Kaido in the face, venting his anger with monstrous strength. The air cracked as Kaido's face deformed. The shockwaves directly passed through Kaido's tough skin, directly blasting him backward, causing the latter to split mouthful of blood. Kaido raced to his feet and wiped the blood at the corner of his lips as if it was nothing while showing a wicked grin. Whitebeard, you are getting old and slow. Your attacks aren't hurting as much they do back then. Whitebeard gritted his teeth as he leaped high in the air while spinning his Naginata and brandished at Kaido. Bang! The strongest man in the world and the strongest creature once again clashed, generating an enormous shockwave of pure power that swept in all directions. Meanwhile, some distance away from the island, a fleet of 10 marine ships shook from the shockwave and as the sea itself rocked back and forth, making everyone on board dizzy. Akainu and Kizaru stood side by side in the main ship watching the battle as sky divided and thunder rumbled. Akainu gritted his teeth in anger while Kizaru looked relaxed. The hell with the great age of pirates and Yonkos. We should kill every one of them and end this squabble. We, the Marines, are the strongest force in the world, we can't let some pirates fool around as they wish. Akainu clenched his fist that transformed into magma. This battle was violent and devastating. As time passed, their clashes only intensified and showed no signs of weakening. The Marine soldiers and officers noticed the mountain in the distance was suddenly torn apart under the collision and soon, to their shock, the entire island shook and cracked. Boom! A sudden shockwave nearly propelled a Marine soldier into the air before he once again landed on the deck, hitting the mainmast. The Marine soldier perspired. How long will they fight? It's been nearly 6 hours since they started fighting, but their fight showed no signs of stopping. In their eyes, this type of frightening destructive power was not something that humans can cause. Those two are simply monsters in human skin. They all wondered, is this the power of Yonkos? It was simply inconceivable. Chapter 135, Marineford on alert. The battle between Blaze and King ended with Blaze emerging as the victor. As for King and Jack, they were apprehended and bound with sea stone shackles. King is tough and strong-willed as he was able to battle him for 6 hours without losing. When it comes to strength and hockey, he's as strong as Speed, but he's not as fast as Speed. Compared to King, Jack is a lot weaker and has a long way to go. At that moment, system notifications sounded in his mind, awakening Blaze from his thoughts. Achievement: defeated one of the All-Stars, King. Reward: plus 0.5 hockey plus 1.0 free attribute point. Achievement: defeated one of the All-Stars, Jack. Reward: plus 0.5 free attribute point. Lucky! Blaze exclaimed joyfully. At the same time, he wondered why the rewards are a lot low, as both King and Jack are calamities of beast pirates. Then he thought, maybe only when the entire crew is defeated the rewards will be complete. Blaze then checked his status panel. Name: Blaze Hunt. Occupation: Marine. Constitution: 65.4. Devil Fruit: 62.7. Hockey: 61.8. Free attribute point: 4.5. Blaze-san. Regis's voice interrupted his thoughts. When he raised his head, he saw the latter holding Den Den Mushi that resembled Sengoku. Hello? Blaze. Sengoku's helpless voice came from the other side of the Den Den Mushi. He heard that Blaze has caught 2 All-Stars of the Beast Pirates. He's pleased with Blaze's strength, but thinking of Kaido gave him a headache. That madman Kaido will definitely try to attack and rescue his subordinates. If it's some normal members of the crew, Kaido may not care, but King and Jack are a different matter. I assume you know about the clash between Whitebeard and Kaido, right? Sengoku asked. Yes. Their battle has ended a while ago when Kaido got the report of King and Jack's defeat. If I am not wrong, he's heading right towards you. From what I heard, he left the battlefield furious. I don't need to say what this means, right? Sengoku stated the situation. If possible, I really want to fight Kaido, the strongest creature in the world. Blaze answered in an excited tone. You brat, I agree you have strength rivaling admirals, but against Kaido I see no odds of you coming out alive. Don't compare him with Crystal, they are not of the same level. What do you need me to do, Sengoku-san? Blaze asked, openly. Impel down won't do any good. Bring King and Jack to the Marine headquarters. Garp and I are here, and I also ordered Akaino and Kizaru to come back.
I sent Kuzan for your support.
My concern is, can you reach Marineford before Kaido get to you?
Even though Kaido is strong and capable of flight, he can't find me easily.
The new world is big. Did you forget there's something called Vivre Card in the world? Sengoku helplessly responded.
Yes, Blaze scratched his head and replied.
I forgot. Then if I kill King and Jack, there should be no problem, right? Blaze asked while his eyes gazed over King and Jack. Can you stop with the foolish talk? It's a serious matter. Sengoku angrily spoke.
Okay. After listening to Sengoku's plan, Blaze ended the call and threw the Den Den Mushi back at Regis. At that moment, King, who was silent the entire time, spoke.
You may be strong, but against Kaido-san you won't survive a single blow.
I would be happy if Kaido can defeat me in a single blow, but I doubt he would do that as he enjoys fighting and likes to test the strength of his opponents.
Blaze indifferently remarked. If he wants to rescue, that's only after defeating me.
At that moment, Regis, who was next to him, spoke.
Blaze-san, I don't doubt your strength, but it's a widely known fact, if it's one-on-one, Kaido will win. On land, sea, and air.
Among all living things, he is a pirate who is known as the strongest creature. Blaze rolled his eyes at Regis as the latter spoke the exact words said in the anime. But Blaze knew the words aren't just for show, as Kaido's really strong. In New World, no one dared to provoke that madman, and his strength is acknowledged by all. Back in Marineford, the order is given to prepare for battle by Sengoku, and the top officers present in the headquarters rallied elite troops to the plaza. Meanwhile, the inhabitants of Marineford, a city where the families of Marines reside, have been told to stay indoors for safety purposes. Fleets of ships were stationed around the coastline. When the soldiers heard Kaido was coming, they were nervous and anxious, as every time Kaido attacked Marineford many have died in the process. After what seemed like 2 hours, the Marine soldiers noticed a figure pedaling a bicycle on the sea.
Kuzan has arrived.
He could have arrived sooner if he used his devil fruit in a different way, but he won't, as he's basically lazy.
Kuzan, you came. Have a bite?
Blaze gestured the latter as he savored large meat of the Sea King that he just killed and barbecued.
You really have the nerves of steel. You even found time to eat. I don't know what to say.
But Blaze, you should stop stirring up trouble wherever you go. I can't, it's in my nature, Blaze shrugged, swallowing a huge piece of meat.
So, what are you going to do? I don't think we can reach Marineford before Kaido finds us. Do you have the confidence to confront Kaido head-on?
Nope.
Kuzan sighed and sat next to Blaze. I should at least enjoy the meat. It smells good. Chapter 136, Here Comes Kaido. Marine Headquarters, Fleet Admiral Sengoku's office.
A Marine officer reported the recent activity of beast pirates while beads of sweat drenched his entire body.
Is it true? Sengoku asked in a calm tone, as he already expected this.
Yes, our resources confirmed the fact that beast pirates gathered their entire force and left Wano. Considering the distance, they will only reach tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about them now.
Our primary concern is Kaido. Sengoku waved his hand while the Marine soldier took his leave. Wahahaha, Blazebrat is doing good. First, Crystal Pirates, now Beast Pirates.
I see his spirit hasn't gotten softer after all these years.
He has guts.
Garp, who was sitting opposite Sengoku, cackled while his eyes shined.
Shut up, Garp. In a way, you are the reason for all this. Sengoku roared, slamming the table. What? Sengoku, I am just an old man, you can't blame everything on me. Sengoku snorted. I think Blaze learned all this from you. Evening. Just as Blaze's marine ship is half a day trip away from the headquarters, the clouds above them thundered. Arara, he has come.
Kuzan and Blaze gazed at the sky while the Marine soldiers on board gulped, feeling suffocating pressure that appeared out of nowhere.
Kuina wondered aloud, what's this sudden change in the weather, and what is that shadow above the clouds? No one answered her as they all stood thunderstruck watching the figure amidst the black clouds and purple lightning. Wind and clouds begin to blow everywhere as the weather continues to worsen while the silhouette of the dragon flashed into their view. Finally, Kadu, the large blue eastern dragon, emerged from the clouds. His monstrous serpentine form and blue-scaled dragon scales, long horns, sharp fangs, and limbs with clawed hands and feet gave him a scary appearance. His mere presence intimidated all the marine soldiers on board, some even cringed in fear. A sense of powerlessness overtook them looking at the colossal and frightening form of Kaido. "This is bad. Notify the headquarters and send them our location." Kuzan called the marine soldier who's near him and ordered. "Is that dragon?" Kuina asked in a trembling voice. "That dragon is the Kaido," Regis answered, clenching his fist. "He's Kaido?" Kuina found it unbelievable. As for Blaze, he was thrilled while his blood boiled and his heart thumped rapidly in excitement. Genuine emotions flooded into his heart, as he has been yearning to meet such a strong opponent. After coming to the world of One Piece, he always wanted to meet the Yonkos as they are the top existences in the world. And Kaido before him is the strongest creature. "Kuzan, no matter what happens, don't interfere in the fight. I want to fight him myself," Blaze said in a serious tone as he exuded a powerful breath. Looking at his expression, Kuzan sighed as he could tell Blaze is completely serious in fighting Kaido alone, even if it means death. "Don't die." At that moment, Kaido, who towered above everyone, scrutinized the marine ship in front of him, with his eyes narrowed. Just to look, everyone on the ship felt as if they were being stared at by a terrifying creature. Facing Kaido, a pure battle intent broke out of Blaze's body that transformed into vigorous conqueror's haki and confronted Kaido head-on. Feeling the remarkable haki and battle intent, Kaido's narrowed eyes turned into one of surprise as he looked straight into Blaze's eyes. "Worororororororo. Interesting. A marine using Haoshiku. I didn't expect to meet such a person. I can tell you're different from all the marine that I have faced before. You have good eyes. Are you the one who captured King and Jack?" Kaido asked, still in his dragon form. "Yes," Blaze admitted. After that, there was absolute silence as Kaido and Blaze looked at one another. But the silence gripped everyone's heart in terror. Regis, Rosinante, Kuina, and other marine soldiers on board had a look of worry and concern on their faces. They trust Blaze and his strength, but against Kaido their confidence wavered. Perceiving Blaze's surging battle intent, Kaido finally spoke. "It's been some time since I met someone as interesting as you. If you bore me, I will kill you." Kaido then grinned as flames appeared in his mouth. Opening them, he gathered a tremendous amount of fire that swirled before breathing them out into a huge, conical blast toward the marine ship where Blaze stood. Bolo breath. The flame blast rocketed rapidly forward and covered a huge distance within a fraction of a second. Blaze, who was expecting Kaido's attack, drew his fist back and violently slammed it forward. All-consuming fist. Golden flames surged from his hands and boomed forward as a dense column of fire. The attack was as intense as Kaido's or even stronger. Boom! Waves of flames went off in all directions as their attack collided in mid-air while dark purple sparks resonated. But what happened next shocked everyone. If it's any other form of attack, Blaze may be at disadvantage, but against flames, he's the best. Blaze's all-consuming fist devoured Kaido's flames and exploded forward, gaining more intensity. As someone who enjoys taking a direct hit from his enemies, Kaido didn't dodge and faced the flames head-on in arrogance. As such, the dense column of golden flames smashed Kaido in the face and knocked him back. "Ah!" Kaido roared, feeling slight pain as the high heat directly bypassed his defense and burned his innards. Chapter 137, Power of Sun. Saying Blaze's attack injured Kaido would be an exaggeration, as it just slightly hurt the latter. As for Kaido, he recovered in a moment and stared at Blaze in slight surprise. Blaze didn't wait for Kaido to attack again as he leaped and appeared far away from the ship. An overpowering momentum broke out of him while translucent golden energy cloaked his entire body.
A sun-shaped mark revealed at his glabella, and monstrous golden flames of destruction surged from his body with him as the center and swept every direction. A high temperature of heat spread out, covering 2 kilometers. The golden sea of flames burned fiercely as if they are ready to incinerate anything in its way. Everyone on the marine ship felt the heat, and soon it became intolerable. Everyone's expression on board changed into that of horror. Helpless, they were forced to navigate the ship away from Blaze. Feeling the ferociousness of the flames, even Kuzan was shocked. He could tell Blaze's flames are multiple times stronger than Sakazuki. Forget about Kuzan, as even Kaido's eyes gleamed in excitement. Among those flames, only Blaze stood as if he's a fire deity descended from heaven. Zzz. As if hearing a call, all the flames gathered and twirled around Blaze. With a thought, they transformed into 10 miniature suns of varying sizes. 6 small and 4 larger ones. The smaller ones are just slightly larger than baseball, while the larger ones were 100 centimeters in diameter. The power of sun. Blaze's ultimate state as he unveiled his devil fruit power to his entirety. The larger ones moved and formed a circle around his back. The smaller ones moved to his hands, 3 to his left and 3 to his right. Hovering in midair, Blaze stared at Kaido and clenched his fist, feeling the power of his devil fruit. Blaze's current form shocked everyone, as this is their first time seeing it. Kuzan looked Blaze in expectation, and to give them a better foothold he froze the sea below with his Ice Age ability. Kaido felt the power of the flames from the last attack. It's frightening, but not to the extent of alarming him. In the sea, the Yonkos are the peak existence. The Marines have to gather all their forces just to face one of them, and there's no guarantee they would win. Just Yonko commanders like King and Queen are powerful enough to face Marine admirals for some time. That's how horrifying the Yonkos are. But Blaze's strength has surpassed the level of admirals. His devil fruit ability is powerful, but he couldn't reveal its full power as it would endanger the friends and foes alike. Today, he can't and won't suppress it. His body suddenly sparkled in golden lightning as his figure blurred and reappeared above Kaido, while the smaller miniature suns released endless flames and augmented his right hand. Further coating them with haki, Blaze punched Kaido's head. As he used internal destruction, his haki bypassed Kaido's tough scales along with extreme heat. The air around warped and twisted under the destructive force of the blow, while sparks of lightning scattered around. Meanwhile, flames raged and consumed Kaido's form, scorching his impervious hide. The intense heat he felt from the attack stunned Kaido, while the force behind the attack overpowered his entire dragon form as he crashed into ice floor created by Akiji. Blaze didn't wait for Kaido to recover as he prepared his next attack. In the distance, Kuzan was amazed by how powerful Blaze's devil fruit ability is. He even wondered what kind of devil fruit the latter has eaten for him to possess such destructive firepower. Considering Blaze's current strength, Kuzan believed the latter won't lose easily. Thinking something, Kuzan took out a visual Den Mushi and transmitted the battle to the headquarters. Marine headquarters. Sengoku rubbed his temples as he just now received the report that Blaze and Kuzan has met Kaido in the middle of the sea. Although the entire conflict is because of Blaze stirring things unnecessarily, Sengoku can't just sit back and watch him face the Yonko alone. Before he could plan his next course of action, another marine officer barged into the office carrying a snail and informed, "Sengoku-san, we just received a signal from Visual Den Mushi, transmitted by Admiral Akiji. It shows the battle between Rear Admiral Blaze and Kaido." "Play it." "Yes." The Den Mushi in the marine officer's hand projected the battle into a big screen. They saw the back of Blaze standing in the sea of flames with the miniature sun revolving around him, facing the enormous azure dragon, Kaido. They saw Blaze preparing some kind of attack. Seeing this, the officers in the room sucked a breath of cold air. A single marine facing the Yonko, they simply couldn't fathom it. At that moment, Garp, who was silent all the time, stood up and left Sengoku's office, leaving a word. "I will go." Sengoku didn't stop Garp. He ordered the marine officers, "Project the battle in the plaza, let the soldiers watch it. It doesn't matter whether Blaze wins or loses, his battle would definitely boost the spirit of Marines and let them know that Yonkos are also human beings." Under Blaze's command, the 4 large miniature suns that hovered behind him came forward in twirl, generating more heat. The next moment, all the 4 balls released wisps of scorching energy straight from their core that gathered at the heart, forming the 5th miniature sun. But it looked completely different from its counterparts, as it had a shade of bluish energy about its surface and had a size of 50 centimeters in diameter. As soon as it reached its full potential, Blaze commanded while the golden blue miniature sun streaked towards Kaido, propelled by other miniature suns. As for Kaido, he didn't let it strike like other attacks, as he sensed the extreme danger from the small thing. But before he could do anything, the sun exploded on its own. Even so, Kaido didn't show any sign of relaxation, as his senses told him something horrifying is going to happen next. Chapter 138, Raimei Hack. Thunder Bagua. The crisis that Kaido sensed isn't a mistake. As soon as the golden bluish sun popped, it didn't generate any form of explosion or flames, but something weird happened. The space itself shook and twisted as the air around the surroundings sucked to a single spot before they contracted further. Finally, a small spark occurred in the core. A gentle ripple of death spread, covering nearly everything within 1 kilometer before it happened. A terrifying power burst out before they mutated into flames of mass destruction. Boom! A huge mushroom cloud raised to 200 meters in the sky, blooming the entire sky red. Followed by the explosion is a devastating shockwave of extreme heat that spread in all directions. Kuzan's ice field evaporated in an instant along with the seawater below, revealing the bottom of the sea. Ah! The marine soldiers on the ship screamed as the entire ship was tossed into the sky, along with them. Some were even brought in the air and thrown off from the ship, but were saved by Kuzan. The ship went down as the entire sea below them had evaporated and hit the ocean bed, stupefying everyone as they all looked around. Regis, Rosinante, Kuina, and Kuzan looked dumbly at the mushroom cloud, and then down at the seafloor. They just crashed in unbelievable expression. Did the sea just disappear? For the first time, they understood Blaze isn't simple as seen on the surface and underestimated him severely. The momentum of the battle was even stronger than when they faced crystal pirates. Akiji-san, look there! Regis and Kuina screamed at the same time. In the distance, the parted sea came crashing down again. They nearly forgot the fact that they were standing in the middle of the sea. Kuzan leaped high in the air while an ice shard extended from both his hands. As soon as they touched the water, they iced the entire sea again. He knew it won't hold for longer, considering the scale of the battle. As for Kaido, who was just a few meters away from the center of the explosion, felt the full brunt of it. A powerful, disastrous force of heat blazed his entire dragon form. The extreme flame even scorched his impervious scales and hurt him. Even he, who takes pride in his tough physique and is called the strongest creature in the world, was forced to use haki at the last moment. Otherwise, the explosion and the flames would have injured him heavily. He was shocked by the power Blaze had shown. That hurts. Kaido's voice came from the cloud of debris and mist as he returned to his human form. Blaze frowned a little as his attack failed to inflict the damage he expected, but it's mostly because he couldn't control it well and let it explode before it could reach Kaido. Even though he knew about Kaido's impenetrable defense, he was still astonished seeing it in person. Furthermore, he could sense his haki is very powerful. As the mist faded, Kaido's human appearance came into full view. He stood close to 23 feet in height and wore a purple full-sleeved shirt with baggy pants of gray-green color. He looked imposing with a stern face while a massive pair of gray-white, sharp-pointed horns come out of the sides of his head. He held his weapon, a large, black, spiked kanabo that rested on his right shoulder while he wiped the blood that trickled from the corner of his lips with his left hand. "You got some spirit and strong devil fruit." Kaido grinned. The next moment, Blaze's expression changed as he hurriedly crossed his arms over his chest while the 6 small miniature suns transformed into armor and encased his arms. Bang! Despite his enormous size, Kaido's figure crossed nearly 100 meters in an instant and appeared before Blaze as he swung his kanabo with devastating force. Raimei Hack! A visible trail of dark lightning exuded from his weapon, indicating he imbued his weapon with both Conqueror and Armament haki. His overpowering attack collided against Blaze's armored arms. Crack!
The defense Blaze created with the devil fruit power and Haki shattered as the spiked Kanabo hit the arms.
But before Blaze was smashed away, innumerable flaming fist extended from the large miniature suns behind him and punched Kaido.
As the attacks had advanced Haki, they bypassed Kaido's defense. Even Kaido didn't expect that his opponent would strike at this moment.
Blaze's figure was cannonied far away and crashed into ice wall frozen by Kuzan, while Kaido too flew back, knocked by innumerable fists at the same time that had advanced Haki.
Marine Headquarters. With their mouths wide open, everyone present in the Marineford watched the earth-shattering battle between the Blaze and Kaido.
Some clenched their fists with burning passion in their eyes. Among the crowd were some familiar figures like Smoker, Hina, and other trainers who met Blaze before.
They just came to the headquarters finishing their training.
At that moment, Blaze's figure was deeply rooted in countless Marines' minds, while their respect for him grew deeper. They all knew that someone stronger than admirals has appeared in their ranks. Without his knowing, Blaze's fame spread while his standing improved. Blaze coughed a mouthful of blood, struggling to rise to his feet as he couldn't feel his arms. When he looked at them, he saw a dent in his left while his right arm was crooked to an unknown degree. Kaido used everything in the strike. In a way, it's his full-powered attack as it was imbued with the Conqueror's Haki. His arms shined in golden light before they showed signs of healing, visible to the naked eye. In a matter of seconds, his arms recovered to their original state. Blaze didn't use his Senju vitality to heal the injuries as it would drain his physical strength. Facing Kaido, it's not a good idea to fatigue himself. His eyes flashed, recalling Kaido's strike. So this what it feels like when struck by a weapon imbued with Conqueror's Haki. It's really powerful. If it's any other person in his place, they would have lost their consciousness against this overwhelming power. Even Blaze would have been seriously injured if he had failed to block it. Chapter 139, Transformation of Flames. Kaido rose to his feet unscathed as if Blaze's attack did no damage, but was really surprised when he saw Blaze in his feet without any injuries, as most of the time all will fall after got by his Raime hack. He caressed his chest, feeling slight pain as Blaze's attack injured him. It's not some luck, his strikes damage me. It's similar to Ryuo and Odin's technique, but where did he learn that? Grinning lightly, he laughed. Waroraro, you are not bad. This fight won't be as boring as I thought it would be. Saying, Kaido swung his kanabo vigorously that propelled a projectile-like shockwave. Kongo Kabura. Blaze pulled his fist back and slammed it forward that nearly cracked the air as it carried his physical strength, Haki, and devil fruit power. Fist-shaped heat pressure roared forward and met Kaido's shockwave. It was a bad move to face it head-on as Kaido's strike shattered his punch and advanced forward. Blaze once again used his hand and miniature suns to block the shockwave that's already weakened by him. Even so, the strike pushed him back and forced his body to slide for a few meters before stopping. Opposite, Kaido once again transformed to his full beast form and roared. Demolishing wind. As he blew strong, powerful yet sharp crescent wind blades lanced forward. Facing Kaido, Blaze didn't plan on holding back at all as golden flames of destruction erupted from him. He concentrated, sharpening his senses, feeling the heat, and imagined the power of the ever-burning sun. Without his knowing, he entered a deep level of concentration and his mind grasped something that's far away from him. The flames around him kindled and burned fiercely as some kind of change happened. Crackle! A succession of slight sharp snapping noises came from the golden flames as if countless mini-explosions indistinct to human ears were occurring. A dumbfounding thing happened. The golden flames got torched by the flame of higher order as its color changed every passing second as if they are fighting within. Crimson, red-orange, once again gold, then purple before finally settling at white-blue. As soon as his flames transformed, everything began to change. The ground he was standing on began to melt while the miniature suns he created also changed their color, a bluish hue appeared on its core. A temperature of extreme spread, affecting the surrounding. Kaido's dragon eyes narrowed, feeling the heat. Glaring at Blaze, he muttered, "Something has changed." Opening his eyes, Blaze smiled. Is this devil fruit awakening or just improvement in temperature and color? Let's find out.
With a thought, the flames transformed and took the form of a dragon that's bluish-white in color, as big as Kaido's frame.
Soaring into the sky, it roared and challenged Kaido. At the same time, the large miniature suns behind Blaze collapsed into a sea of flames before taking the shape of a dragon. But this one had a different appearance, a golden body and bluish head. Unlike the last one, Blaze commanded it to soar above the clouds.
Interesting. Dragon versus dragon, bring it on.
Kaido screamed and darted towards the bluish dragon while whirling his serpentine body into a coil to summon several tornadoes around him.
Blaze's blue dragon swung his serpentine tail fiercely to shatter the tornadoes into nothingness before colliding against Kaido.
As soon as the flaming dragon touched Kaido, his impervious scale showed signs of burning. Feeling the burning sensation, Kaido moved fiercely, destroying some parts of the flaming blue dragon, but before he could make his next move he felt his entire body is coiled.
Crash! Struggling to free himself, Kaido crashed into the ground.
At that moment, the other flame dragon that had soared into the sky revealed itself, but it was enormous, at least twice as big as Kaido's dragon form.
Dragon Drive! Blaze grasped his fist and the huge dragon collapsed, splitting into countless bluish-golden arrows that rained down from the sky.
As the other flame dragon pinned Kaido to the ground, he couldn't dodge the attack even though he sensed them from miles away. He roared while an overwhelming haki broke out of him, shattering the dragon that bound him and faced the arrows. From the distance, it was a beautiful display as all the arrows had a golden body and a bluish head. Regis, Rosinante, Kuina, Kuzan, and other marine soldiers viewed the spectacle without blinking, afraid of missing something. But what no one expected happened at the last moment as Kaido withdrew the dragon form and changed into human-beast hybrid form.
Gripping his kanabo tightly, he imbued them with Hashiko Haki, which resulted in thin lightning-like streams of dark energy emanating from his weapon.
Gazing at the sky, he swung the club with extreme force, causing a massive tornado-like wave that spiraled into the sky, destroying thousands of arrows effortlessly.
None remained.
All it took was one strike to stop one of Blaze's strongest skills. It didn't deter Blaze but instead made him smile because Kaido's finally starts to take him seriously. Blaze knew Kaido only transforms into the hybrid form if his opponents prove strong enough to handle both his human and full dragon forms. In this form, he's strong, tough, and fast with no weak spot.
The actual battle between them is just starting. Marine headquarters. Kaido's so strong. No wonder he's an emperor of the sea.
A soldier muttered, looking at the ongoing battle. Among the crowd, Gion stood along with a few of the sisters from Vice Admiral Tsuru's unit. She felt weak watching the battle and figured the gap between her and Blaze. Even Sengoku was surprised by Blaze's devil fruit powers and the strength he displays. At that moment, Kizaru and Sakazuki, who rushed to the headquarters on their own, arrived just on time to watch Blaze's flame transforming from gold to bluish-white.
He's scary. I think he's stronger than us, the admirals. Kizaru commented. As for Sakazuki, he stood there clenching his fist in anger. It was supposed to end that day. I was so close to killing him. If not for Kuzan and... Chapter 140, Future Sight. Bang! Blaze's figure smashed into the ice wall and slipped to the ground.
As he tried to get up, pain assaulted from all parts of his body, causing him to groan. Kaido's last Conqueror Haki-imbued attack fractured multiple bones in his body while blood flowed from his head, mouth, and nose. His marine coat had been completely destroyed while the shirt beneath was tattered all over, revealing a toned and muscular body underneath. He has been fighting Kaido for nearly 3 hours, and it's a miracle that he survived till now. If not for his strong vitality granted by his Senju constitution and healing ability, he may have been knocked out after an hour into the battle. Till now, he doesn't know how many times the bones have been broken or fractured. He's strong, but Kaido's a monster who's superior to him in every aspect. He lost the ability to use his devil fruit powers for some time as he overused them beyond the limit and emptied nearly 60% of his Haki reserve. As sun has already set, he can't replenish them in a short time. His Haki reserve is at least thrice higher than a normal person, but Kaido's more perverted than him with supreme Haki, maybe due to his Oni bloodline. Your abilities intrigue me. You can heal from severe injuries in seconds. Is it because of your devil fruit or bloodline?
Kaido asked as he charged again. Kaido wasn't uninjured as Blaze's flame, in fact, scorched his scales while he also got injured by his haki, but it wasn't anywhere near to stop him as there wasn't a sign of fatigue on his face. His near-invisible endurance and the incredible amount of stamina amazed even Blaze, who knew about it beforehand.
Only after his attributes cross the 70-bar limit in all aspects he can face Kaido without losing. But, to defeat him he needs to be stronger than Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. Clearing his mind, Blaze once again focused on dodging Kaido's attack that he has been attempting for some time. To dodge successfully, he needs to see the future. His observation haki attained the level of instinctual, but it's some distance away from reaching the level of future sight. The battle with Kaido is an opportunity for Blaze if he utilizes them correctly. Kanbunshaku or observation haki is an extension of one's imagination, but just imagination isn't enough. Intent, presence, emotions, and purpose also play a vital role. Blaze calmed himself completely to concentrate and predict Kaido's attack. However, he got hit head-on by the latter's kanabo and once again crashed into the ice wall. He's so fast. Blaze punched the ground in anger and rose to his feet again. But what he didn't know is, without his awareness he's keeping up with Kaido. Though Blaze is not as strong as Kaido, his haki isn't weak either. The attacks that heavily injured him before didn't hurt him as much as they did. It's not Kaido's attacks that are weakening, but Blaze's control over haki is developing rapidly as he fought. Blaze and Kaido clashed again and again, but Kaido continued to overwhelm. Blaze didn't give up as stood back again and again, proving his willpower isn't weak. Kaido is highly confident in his power and considers himself to be far above others, so Blaze's resilient behavior completely exasperated him, as he couldn't crush someone who's weaker than him. Enough playing. Enraged, he roared and swung his kanabo violently, but Blaze dodged all of them. Finally, Blaze managed to predict Kaido's attacks and dodged them, which surprised Kaido, and he soon discerned that Blaze's observation haki is growing. Blaze did indeed touch the concept of future vision, but he's still away from mastering it completely. Besides, it won't be of much help facing Kaido as he almost exhausted his physical strength and devil fruit power from overusing them. At that moment Kaido attacked. Using his dragon tail he propelled himself forward and rushed at an unbelievable speed. Though Blaze saw the future, it took every ounce of strength in his body to dodge. It's how fast Kaido is. The battle between them continued. Kaido attacked furiously and with everything he got, while Blaze tried his best to dodge every one of them, but sometimes the attacks hit him. Another 2 hours passed. Blaze gasped for air heavily. He's at his limit as his haki too reached the end. In normal circumstances, his haki won't deplete this quickly, but to block Kaido's blows without getting injured he's forced to channel a huge amount of haki. It's also the only reason why he remains standing till now. As for his physical strength, it drained to the limit because of healing his injuries too many times. It took all his willpower and strength to remain standing. Even so, facing Kaido's incoming his heart was steady without any nervousness or excitement, while his eyes exuded unwavering determination. Channeling haki and leftover devil fruit power he had in him to his fist, Blaze punched the air in front of him. At that moment, Kaido's weapon came clashing, emitting dark lightning sparks. The clouds above shook, while objects rose off the ground from the sheer pressure, while the ground beneath them cracked and split, forming a wide crater. The strikes collided but ceased from touching one another, while the force from each blow exerted into one another, and finally, Kaido's strike overwhelmed Blaze's and banged right into his face. A loud, powerful shockwave dispersed outward along with Blaze, who lost consciousness after fighting Kaido for nearly 6 hours. Blood oozed from all his pores and he was violently flung away by the strike as he failed to coat his body with haki. The black sparks faded while Kaido wielded his kanabo over his shoulder and cried, "I got excited over nothing." On the other hand, Blaze's figure canonied back and was about to crash into the marine ship, but Kuzan caught his body and placed him on the deck of the ship. To calm the anxious soldiers on board, who were worried about Blaze's well-being, Kuzan stated, "He just lost his consciousness, he will be good once he wakes up." That wraps up this part of What If Transmigrated into One Piece and became a Marine. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series. where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well.
See you in the next one.